So today I want to talk about why you should get the LG OLED CX, why it's still a better choice over the C9, and why people telling you that the CX is actually a downgrade. Is it a downgrade? Let's find out. So the C9 is a great TV, we all know that. It was the best TV overall in 2019. So if you're planning on buying a new TV, both the C9 and the CX are a great choice. But if money isn't the issue for you, should you still get the CX? Well, yeah, in my opinion. As far as firmware and upgrades, the CX will get better over time. You know, personally, you can't really compare these two TVs together because the C9 is already about a year old. It had a lot of firmware and fixes throughout the year. CX is basically still at launch and didn't have any fixes yet. So what I'm trying to say is the C9 got better and better over time. They stopped updating the 2018 OLED models, so I'm not sure when this will happen to the C9 as well. Also, the CX will most likely hold the bigger firmware updates versus the C9. When I was looking at the service menu of the CX, at the chipset it said 020, the C9 was a 018 chipset. So I think the new chipset is a lot better and will be able to hold better firmware, also bigger firmware than the old chipset of the C9. Of course, we have to wait for firmware to be released. From what I've been reading, they put a lot of power in the new chipset. They downgraded the Hdmi 2.1 from 48 to 40. We will talk about that later. But the changes they made on the chipset, it's noticeable. I mean, when you're watching SDR content or HD 1080p, upscaling to 4K is way better than the C9. So I know the changes aren't that big. I mean, some of you guys are hesitating to buy a CX over the C9. Is it really worth it? It's worth it if money isn't the issue for you. I mean, if you have to pay like $1,000 extra over the C9, I wouldn't really upgrade. If it's your first OLED TV, then definitely pick the CX. LG makes good TVs, good OLED TVs. I know there are a lot of other brands like Sony, Panasonic, they have great OLED TVs as well. But if you're a gamer, PC gamer, console gamer, go with the LG. If I wasn't playing games at all, just for movies, TV, cable TV, Netflix, I would have gone with Sony, I think. I mean, Sony and their motion game is just unreal. I mean, I have no Sony TV to compare with, so I've seen some side-by-side comparisons on YouTube with the CX and the Sony TV. And the CX is good. It's good against the Sony. I mean, it's almost on the same level. After calibrating the CX and the Sony, they are almost the same. So I'm not sure if many people are really gonna calibrate their TVs, but out of the box the CX is also way better than the C9. I mean, color accuracy on the CX is way better than the C9 out of the box. Everyone knows Sony has a great color accuracy, and versus the C9 is not really on the same level. And when you do out of the box CX versus Sony, it's almost on the same level, and after calibrating it's basically identical. I mean, Sony is still better if you're watching movies, and also because of the motion game, color accuracy is still slightly better. But if you're just a gamer, console gamer, and you want to use it for games, movies, etc., just overall use, then go with LG. You know, if Sony had VRR or FreeSync, G-Sync, whatever, any game mode, then I would definitely pick the Sony. I mean, that would have made a perfect TV in my opinion. It's just, I don't know, I find it a bit weird why Sony isn't implementing any HDMI 2.1 and any gaming features. I mean, Sony has a PlayStation and Sony is releasing the PlayStation 5. So these are just my opinions on the TVs, and yeah, if you're watching movies only and TV, I would just go with Sony or Panasonic. I mean, Panasonic has great TVs as well. And yeah, if you're just gaming, also console gaming, doesn't matter, just go with the LG. And definitely go with the CX. I mean, firmware wise, upgrades. In the long run, the CX will get better. I mean, I don't know when they're gonna stop updating the C9. I mean, they stopped updating the 2018 OLED series of LG. That's why I always go with the newer models. I mean, just because of the updates and firmware, the fixes they do. I mean, LG wants their newest TV to be good, right? The C9 of last year was their newest TV. It was a little bit buggy in the beginning also, like the CX is now, but it also got fixed. So yeah, I'm not really afraid of the CX being a downgrade. I mean, there are some stuff that's not good. I mean, like the elevating black levels in Dolby Vision and VRR, they're all getting fixed. Also, from what I've been reading, on the Korean LG website, there's an update available for the CX. It's 065, and currently my TV is on 060. So I'm wondering when that's gonna be released for me, at least. I'm from Europe, so yeah, I'm really excited, kinda. I mean, if they really fix the Dolby Vision issue and the VRR issue with the black levels, then LG is doing a great job. So yeah, let's hope that's being fixed in the new firmware update when it's released. So let's talk about the HDMI 2.1 downgrade. On the C9 it's 48 and on the CX it's 40. In my opinion, it's not really a downgrade. All these TVs, all these panels, Sony, Panasonic, LG, all 10-bit. I mean, it's like buying the new 8K TVs. Samsung just released their new 8K TVs of 2020, and they're all 10-bit panels as well. For true 8K content, you need 12-bit. Does it make any sense? No. Will you see any difference? Maybe, but it's just not worth getting an 8K TV. So is the HDMI 2.1 a downgrade? No. I mean, 40 is enough. It's enough for 4K, 444, 120 Hz. I mean, on consoles like the Xbox, 12-bit was an option. You could enable it on the console. But did it make any difference? Not really. I mean, the best experience we get from these panels is just 10 or 8-bit content. But there are always clueless people in the comments section thinking higher numbers is better, 48 is better. Well, it's not. I mean, most of them don't even know how bandwidth work. They think, yo, 48 is just better, it's a higher number. Well, that's not how it works. I mean, just don't get fooled by people on the comment section or forums. I mean, when you're picking a new TV and you can make a decision between the C9 or the CX, you see higher numbers, you see lower numbers. You know, higher numbers doesn't mean it's better. Lower numbers doesn't make it worse. You just gotta do some research on how it works. You know, you go to the LG website and you see those specs. Half of it, you don't know what it does, what it means. You go to YouTube, you're gonna watch reviews, side-by-side comparisons. You know, in my opinion, that's just not working for me, because when I'm picking a TV, I'm just gonna go to the store, I'm gonna compare them, I'm gonna look with my own eyes, and that's probably the best thing you can do when you're picking a TV. So that's about it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope this will help you guys when picking up your new TV, and why you should still pick the CX over the C9. Stay safe and see you on the next video.